चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। ओके। हरे कृष्णा। तो आज से आपका उपदेशामृत चालू होने वाला है। तो ये शायद अच्छा ये सेम बैच है जिसमें हमने वो किया था ईशोपनिषद, सेम बैच
Yes,
है।
yes, Prabhu.
ओके ओके। सो वी आर मीटिंग अगेन। ओके।
How are you?
हरे कृष्णा।
How
ठीक
are
है।
you?
आवाज आ रहा है
How are
सबको?
Yes,
हाँ
Prabhu ji,
जी
आ रही थी।
हाँ ठीक है। तो हरे कृष्णा। NOI उपदेशामृत जो पुस्तक है वो हमारे इस्कॉन का। ओके इस इंग्लिश ना। ओके इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बुक of our ISKCON. Prabhupada used to say the law book to two books. One is NOD and one is NOI. So NOI is a very short, small book. Summarized all the practice of bhakti within 11 shlokas and telling that how one can advance from beginning stage to advanced stage. And in between everything is there. Association with Vaishnava, what should be the outlook of a Vaishnava, how we should develop the Preeti among Vaishnava. Preeti means loving and interactions with Vaishnavas. How we should avoid some wrong things which will curb our bhakti or make our bhakti very slow. And what are the factors which help our bhakti advance or it increase more and more. What is chanting holy names? What are the holy places like Mathura, Vrindavan, Dwarka? What are there in category? Which is the highest place in the whole universe? So like that, so many topics are discussed in these 11 shlokas. And Rup Goswami Pad, who was entrusted with this activity of writing scriptures, Nana Sastra Vichara Nyaya Kanupano. All the Goswamis, not only Rup Goswami. But we are called especially Rupanuga because Rup Goswami, he is a prominent figure as well as in the spiritual world. He is a leader of all the Manjaris in that Manjaris group who are serving Lalita and Vishakha. So he is the leader of those. So therefore, we are Rupanuga. And in this world, Rup Goswami happened to be brother of Sanatan Goswami, who is elder. But still, Rup Goswami was given mercy to understand Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. So the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his mission was clearly identified and outlined in his scriptures as well as in practice by Rupa Goswami. So we are Rupanuga. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj also used to sing Si Rupa Manjari Pada. He also used to sing. So we are all Rupanugas. And this is the literature written by Rupa Goswami. Out of many other literatures, he has written this very concise, very succinct literature, outlining all the important slokas for devotee in Gaudiya Vaishnava, how he can advance. Beginning sloka may applies to other processes also like yoga and jnanas. But if you go ahead, you'll find everything is bhakti. Yes. So it is like that. So we'll start with sharing something. NOI helps one to develop through the 9 progressive stages of bhakti. In beginning, we'll learn that how all the 9 stages of bhakti are all given in which? This book. आदौ श्रद्धा तथा साधु संगो अतः भजन क्रिया ततो नर्थ निवृत्ति स्यात् ततो निष्ठा रुचि ततस् अथा आसक्ति ततो भाव तथा प्रेमाद्यो अंचिता साधकानाम अयं प्रेम्णः प्रादुर्भावे भवेत् क्रमः. Prabhupada used to quote this sloka many times. Ado Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sang. So these are the 9 processes of bhakti. We are going to see ahead in the written form. So these 9 processes of bhakti are how we are going to advance. And we are advancing in this way. So the first of all began with the Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, then Bhajan Kriya, then Anartha Nivritti, then Nishtha, then Ruchi, then Asakti, then Bhava, then Prema. These are 9 stages. And what are these 9 stages? It is mentioned here. Pradur Bhave Bhavet Kramaha. The Prema starts developing in this 9 stage slowly. Kramaha. Dheere dheere, step by step and slowly. So bhakti is a gradual process. It's an organic process. It's not like you just sow the seed immediately it will come out in a plant. No, it's an organic process. It takes time because a disciple who is like a person, he cannot immediately give up everything and totally develop everything because everything is not in hand. He can try to give up, but again he may become proud, then he may become offensive, then again his path become delayed. So it's organic thing, means in general how a human behaves. We are in body of human, we go through all those conditionings, as well as what are the previous life karma, previous life apradhas, everything we have to resolve. If we are a clean slate and we are told to practice bhakti, then it will be quite easy. No sins, no aparadha, then it will be quite easy. But we are all with baggage of sins and aparadha from previous life and in this life also committed so many. So then it becomes little slowed down. And by reading such scriptures like NOI especially, we are again re-enthused and reawakened. अरे कहाँ गलत जा रहा हूँ मैं? Where I am going? This is the wrong path. I should not go. This is the right path where Goswamis are going. I should go. I should follow them. So like that. So gradually the emotions intensify and finally there is awakening of love. This is the gradual development of love of Godhead for the devotee. And these are all what? These are nothing but sadhana bhakti, bhav bhakti and prem bhakti. You will be reading in NOD later. So bhakti has been divided in 3 categories. Sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti is Vaidhi bhakti plus Raganuga. Raganuga comes later. Vaidhi bhakti is first we are practicing right now. Vaidhi bhakti. Then after Raganuga comes Bhav bhakti, which is nothing but preliminary prema. It's a beginning of prema. And then after Bhav, there is a prema. Yes, so this is the category here. So 1 to 7 verses of NOI, Nectar of Instruction Upadeshamrit, what they say, what they teach us, Vaidi Sadhana Bhakti, 1 to 7 verse. And 8th verse teaches Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. 9th and to till 11th, Bhav and Prema Bhakti. More properly done here. So 1 to 3 Shraddha. You may 1 to 3 is very become so sometimes difficult to follow. That is Shraddha. Because if senses are not controlled, even Shraddha can be diluted. So we have to understand. We'll go through it one by one. So Shraddha 1 to 3. Then Sadhu Sangha 4 to 6. Then 7 Bhajan Kriya Anarth Nivritti Nishtha Ruchi. 8th Asakti and Bhava and Prema. Okay, ठीक है. What do you mean by Shraddha? Shraddha means little faith. Many times Srila Prabhupada sometimes says little faith. And what is the definition of little faith? Shraddha sabde viswas kahe sudhir nischay. Krishna bhakti kaile sarva karma krita hai. That is little faith. Little faith means no faith in any devata. No faith in any materialism. Any materialistic activity is going to give me some success. No. They are some aids, but the reality is bhakti. Only by the Lord's mercy. Actually, this is truth. Only by the Lord's grace, whatever I am getting in my life is everything by His grace. We can see similar things, instances in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's coming in the 15th chapter of first canto, where Arjuna, when he had gone to Dwarka to meet Lord Sri Krishna and also other friends, and he spent 7 months there in Dwarka. And Yudhishthir was quite disturbed because of some bad omens seen in the kingdom. And then he calls upon the Bhima and he started asking, where has this Arjuna gone for so long time? Why has not come? I think Kali Yuga has appeared now. Kali Yuga aa chuka hai abhi. Then when Arjuna returns back and his face was very, very morose, all teja, all ojas has gone away. So then Arjuna was asked a question, inquired by Yudhishthir Maharaj. So many ways. What was the cause of his despondency or dejection? Why he was so dejected? And he was telling so many things from the normal Dharma Shastras, how a person can become dejected. Like if you are eating something and somebody is watching you, you're not feeding him. So then it may produce some kind of dissatisfaction in our heart. Therefore, eating business should be done after feeding others, and then we can eat. And it should be done. Eating should be done in front, not in front of everyone. If all are devotees, then it's okay. Otherwise, we should eat in a private place. It is therefore important, especially in the trains. We should try to, because many times people and children especially, they watch, and it is a injunction of Shastra. The children and old people should be fed before we eat. And as a grahasthas, they have a duty to call upon those who are hungry and feed them first, and then they eat. Means after feeding children and old people, also call upon those who are. So therefore, Kali Yuga, we have to follow in a certain way, that we should obey dharma also, and at the same time we should not become too much traditional in that way, because we cannot be also. So we obey the dharma. How to do? We can go on upper seat somewhere. I am not telling anywhere like that, but we have to decide our own way. Go to upper seat and eat prasad, whatever, or give to some children are there, give them some food, or hide somewhere and eat, because eating should not be seen by others also. So then he was asking whether you have not fed others, whether somebody has come to you for protection and you have not protected him or her. Like that. So many inquiries he is making. And at last, he says, I think these all things are not the cause. Lord Krishna has gone away or left this planet. That's why you are so much dejected. And Arjuna really recognizes that. And with hard endeavor, he was just wiping his tears, and explaining to him. Yes. What he was explaining, all incidences where Pandavas became victorious, and he was giving all attributes. All, you can say, he was telling that Krishna was the cause of everything what he got in his life. Many times we have not heard uh, incidences of Krishna physically helping Arjuna to do, like in a Draupadi's Swayamvar, Krishna was there, but Arjuna came in the form of Brahmana, and he was shooting the arrow by seeing down in the water pot, and it was also trembling, and he was seeing the reflection of a fish up, and he was shooting. So there also he mentioned that by his mercy I could shoot. And there also Karna, he started fighting, and then by his mercy I defeated him, and then I took away the Draupadi. So Arjuna, because he was knowing what was his strength and where he was getting extra strength, he was knowing that, and he could see after Krishna left, he was just defeated by infidels, cowherd boys. So Arjuna was in such a nice chapters. Every incident Arjuna was narrating with his connection with Krishna, that how by his mercy I was able to do, how by his mercy I was able to do. So this is a faith. Kanishtadikari has this faith. So bhakti begins with Kanishtadikari. Okay. So Kanishtadikari has this faith that I will not go to anyone, I will go to Krishna. Even though he sometimes fights among other devotees and among other people, but he has faith for Krishna. Okay. Then Sadhu Sangha, association of pure devotees. Yes. Bhajana Kriya, practicing and hearing, chanting various devotional practices. This is where we, so sadhus means general sadhus, and Bhajana Kriya means when we get initiated and we get connected to a particular guru, particular sadhu, and then we follow the parampara. Anarth Nivritti, after we start chanting, taking vow of chanting, following regulative principles, then cleansing of heart takes place. And when this is a long process, Anarth Nivritti, when this process becomes very intensified, or sadhana process becomes very intensified, very, very intensified, we go to the Nishtha stage. Nishtha means Nashtik Bhajana Kriya. It's a Bhajana Kriya only, but it's a Nashtik. Right now, Anashtik. Till the time Anarth Nivritti has not completed, Anashtik means it's a breakage is there in our bhajana. We are doing so many other things also, not exclusive bhajan. The exclusive bhajan happens at the Nishtha stage. Firm faith. And then Ruchi and attraction, taste and attraction, and Asakti means attachment to the limbs of bhakti, attachment to certain. Basically, here we come to Raganuga bhakti, Ruchi and Asakti. So here you get attached to certain, you know that what is your form, you are revealed actually, because your Raga Anuga means you follow Ragatmika Bhakta. Ragatmika means who is in a Raga platform and you are following him, like Yashoda is Ragatmika Bhakta, and we follow her traits, her activities, means we come to know that I am also mother or a assistant of Krishna. I am also mother assistant of Krishna. So therefore we follow like her. So here it is revealed in Raganuga platform. Then attachment happens to certain processes of work of bhakti, process of bhakti. Bhava, it's a preliminary stage of transcendental love. Here the full-fledged love, sing like sunlight and sun ray. Sunlight is a full fledged of all the combination of sun rays, and sunlight. Okay, sun ray means one ray will come. So bhava is like a one ray of prema, and prema means full sunlight. It's a blown up full sunlight. It's like that. So Updeshamrit teaches us. The Updeshamrit is not teaching us how what happens at these stages, but they are teaching us the different incidences happens, where somewhere we have to control our senses, where you have to deal with the Vaishnavas, we have to have a good outlook of bhakti. So they're not specifically teaching the what happens at this stage particularly, but some instructions which are very important for sadhakas while they're practicing bhakti and they are journeying towards prema, from Shraddha to prema. So they have to take care of these things. Okay. The first text will teach us about controlling mind and senses. Second text, 6 things favorable for Krishna consciousness. These are called unfavorable, don'ts. Chaya Vega Domi, Chaya Dosa Sodhi, Chaya Guna Devadase. So, Chaya Vega means these are 6 Vegas. The 6 Vegas we have to control, we'll learn today. And 6 things unfavorable. Chaya Dosha. What are the dosha? Dosha in us, which we have to stop. And 6 things favorable for Krishna consciousness. Chaya Guna. So 6 guna, what are the good thing we have to cultivate in our Krishna consciousness, which can be favorable? And satasanga, chaya satasanga, how to associate with devotees in 6 ways, loving exchanges. That is given in 4th sloka. We know, na? Oh, Vaishnava Thakur, the same song is there. Means Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings for these 4 things. And then dealing with the different types of devotees. Kanishtha, Madhyama, Uttama. Don'ts in dealing, no material outlook should be there, especially for pure devotees, because their offense is quite severe. And glories of the holy name. Glories of the holy name is very much important because ultimately this is the only thing many times we hear. हरिनाम सब कुछ है और सब कुछ हरिनाम ही और सब बेकार है हम सुनते कई बार हैं तो that is truth. Holy name is everything. So one ultimately becomes convinced of this fact that holy name is everything. Srila Prabhupada was convinced. He took this holy name to foreign land and preached to all the hippies. From not only at certain stage holy name becomes important, but it is important for the beginner and for advanced and in between. For everyone, it is so important. Glories of holy name. Means it's like for us, it's like a medicine. It's a medicine, it's a catalyst, it's a way to see the Lord. So many things we can say about holy name. It's a medicine because anytime we become haunted with the desires to enjoy or some lust, anger, pride comes, so again we take shelter of holy name. We have to take shelter. We get depressed because of some problem in bhakti, then again we take shelter of holy name. It's a catalyst. It can help our bhakti just leap bound. Means we can fly in bhakti by having more and more faith in holy name and by chanting holy name. Say it like that. And then meditation on Krishna's name, form, qualities. This is the 8th shloka. And 9 to 11 is residence in Radha Kund and its glories. Summary to that of the text 1 to 7. Yes, Yamun. What you YVD कौन है प्रभु? What is the name?
Yamuna Vilas Das projects me.
Huh?
Yamuna
Yes,
Vilas Das.
No, I did not hear.
Can you hear me, Project?
can you hear me now?
हाँ.
Yes, Prabhuji, what happened?
YVD devotee कौन है? YVD आपने लिखा है ना? And Subida.
Yamuna Vilas Prabhuji, Yamuna Vilas
Yamuna Vilas Prabhu. I know, I forgot his name.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yamuna
Can you
Vilas
hear
Prabhu,
me?
can you read this?
Can you hear
Summary
me,
of the
Project?
text 1 to 7. Just read this. Read the text here.
Can you hear me, Project?
Yes.
Okay. Summary of texts 1 to 7. Text 1. How to recognize a qualified spiritual master. Second, how to prevent a spiritual fall down. Third, how to make spiritual advancement. Fourth, how to begin to experience love amongst devotees. Fifth, how to associate with devotees. Sixth, how to avoid committing offenses. And seventh, how to completely cure oneself from ignorance, offenses by beginning to taste the sweetness of the holy names.
Yes, go ahead.
Texts 8 to 11, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Spontaneous devotional service in which the devotee follows in the footsteps of one of the eternal associates of Krishna in Vrindavan. Bhava Bhakti. Devotional service in ecstasy or preliminary stage of love of Krishna. Prema Bhakti. Mature pure love of Krishna.
Yes. So, done. Okay. Okay, somebody else can read. Yeah, Prasanna Gopal Prabhuji, can you read?
Prabhuji, I'm at a public place
हाँ ठीक
outside, so can
ठीक है
somebody take
अरुणा
it? Yeah.
पाल माता जी पढ़िए.
By devotional service, only is one elevated to the transcendental planet Goloka Vrindavan, and there also there is only devotional service. For the activities of devotional service, both in this world and in the spiritual world, are one and the same. Devotional service does not change. The example of a mango can be given here. If one gets an unripe mango, it is still a mango, and when it is ripe, it remains the same mango, but it has become more tasteful and relishable. Similarly, there is devotional service performed according to the direction of the spiritual master and the injunction and regulative principles of Shastra. And there is devotional service in the spiritual world, rendered directly in association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But they are both the same. There is no change. The difference is that one stage is unripe and the other is ripe and more relishable. It is possible to mature in devotional service only in the association of devotees.
So we could easily see here, this comes in the Dhruv Maharaj section. Srila Prabhupada writes very nice purport here. The devotional service in this world and devotional service in the spiritual world, both are the same. One is ripe and other is unripe mango. So unripe mango is not very tasty. It is bitter, sour. And ripe mango is very tasty. It's called the king of all fruits, mango, when it is ripened. So it's again the king of all the yogas is Bhakti Yoga when it is ripened. But when it is unripe, it is little or more austerity. But it has to be done under the direction of spiritual master that it is given here. So spiritual master's direction and follow the injunctions of Shastras, regulative principles of Shastras, injunctions. Okay. So this is like this. Like animal life, okay. So when we come to the human life, so bitter mango, surrender and association of devotees. Surrender sometimes bitter. Okay. Then bitter sour. Sadhana bhakti practice starts. Okay. Then sour. Then sour sweet. Sweet, condensed sweetness. So these are the gradual stages of ripening of mango. But it is a mango only. And mango has to remain connected with the tree so that it can get ripened. In the similar way, we should remain connected with the Vaishnavas to become ripened in bhakti. So in all through the stages, there can be sweetness, little and little bitterness will be there because we are going through the process of anartha nivritti. Anartha nivritti means like if we clean our rooms or bathrooms, if somebody says that there should be no bad smell coming out from bathroom because we are cleaning, then it is a madness. If you are cleaning a bathroom, bad smell will come out surely because it's a place where all the excretions are thrown, and so therefore they smell bad. And when we clean, so then the bad will come out. So in the similar way, the bad is there in our heart, our mind, and the bhakti is the process of cleansing. And when it will clean, some bad will come out. And then one should not report why it is smelling so bad. It's the place. Prabhupada used to say, we are in hospital. In hospital, somebody's leg is broken, somebody's hand is broken, somebody is shouting, somebody's throat is swollen, somebody is having cancer, so many diseases. But good thing is all are in hospital under the proper supervision of a good doctor, who is our spiritual master. So only thing one should not get out of the hospital before he get cured. So he should get cured, and then he can relish the his normal life. So this is so Bhakti association of devotees also, they follow the similar process. They are the similar things. Okay, now we'll go to the preface. इधर ही है, एक minute. Yes. So we'll be reading. So this is a preface written by Srila Prabhupada ji, and then we'll understand. Yes. भक्ति लीला देवदासी माता जी, पढ़िए. आपको दिख रहा है ना, ये और बड़ा करना है, ठीक है, इतना करते हैं.
नहीं प्रभु जी, मैं बुक में से पढ़ रही हूँ. इज
हाँ
इट फाइन?
पढ़िए, चलेगा चलेगा, पढ़िए, नो इश्यू.
Preface. The Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas or the Bengali Vaishnavas are mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are direct disciples. Therefore, Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung Rupa Raghunath Pade Ha Ibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bhujaba Se Yugala Piriti. When I am eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the science of Krishna. The most exalted of all the activities of Lord Krishna are his pastime of conjugal love with gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, the best of the gopis. Therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow his footsteps, one must very seriously follow in the footsteps of 6 Goswamis. Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta, and Das Raghunath.
Okay,
Sri-
yes, yeah. So here, as we discussed, that they all the 6 Goswamis, there are many Goswamis, but prominent the 6 Goswamis, they're all disciples of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Narottam Das Thakur, who became a disciple or Siksha disciple of Jiva Goswami, he himself says that Rupa Raghunath Pade Haibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bhuji Bose Yugal Priti. So until then, one is having Priti for Rupa and Raghunath Pade onto their lotus feet. One cannot understand the Yugal Priti, means conjugal loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. So what do you mean by having Rupa Raghunath Pade Haibe Akuti? So he had mentioned, I am ready to understand the literature given by Goswamis. Means the parampara, not, it does not follow in emotion only. Okay, like Guru is there and emotion is there. He is my Guru. I am very much emotional and sentimental about him. Everything what he says I accept. I never think other way. What he's saying, what does he mean? No, whatever he says I accept. No, here it mentioned the Goswami should be taken with the knowledge. The literature they have written, that literature has to be read, and that is what called Guru Parampara. So it is very, very important. That is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu envisioned the Gaudiya Vaishnava, because when he says that Prithvi Chache Nagar Adi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Hoibe More Naam. So how the Naam will Pracharan will happen? How Naam Pracharan will happen? Until unless somebody writes the teachings of Goswamis, which are nothing but the Gaudiya philosophy. So who will write? So Goswamis have to write, and then somebody has to read, and then he has to also forward it to his disciple, and then he has to forward it to his disciples, like that. So therefore, it is mentioned here. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we have heard many, many times, that his pastime, he has come in a mood of Srimati Radharani, Kanti of Srimati Radharani, in order to relish how Srimati Radhika enjoyed the love of Krishna, and the prema. How does he feel about that, the love? And what is the speciality of that love? I want to find it out. So Krishna wanted to find it out. And so therefore he took the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then to understand the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not simply come with his goal of tasting love of God, but he also propagated the mission. He is a Yuga avatar here. So he propagated the mission of Braja Bhakti, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam. So that Braja Bhakti in a very special, actually our Gaudiya Sampradaya, it's a Manjari Bhav basically. Manjari Bhav means when we are called like Rupa Nuga. Rupa is who? Rupa is who is a Rupa Goswami? Let us understand from here now. Okay, Srila Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the Goswamis, and to guide our activities, he gave us the Updeshamrita. Okay, one slide can be read. Mukund Pad Prabhuji, aap padhiye. You can.
Lord Chaitanya spoke to Rupa Goswami for 10 days at Dasha Ashwamedh Ghat, and Rupa Goswami internalized all the teaching of Lord Chaitanya and presented them as Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu and Nectar of Instruction.
So in Prayagraj, this Dasasmegh Ghat is there, where Rupa Goswami was given knowledge. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also gave knowledge to Sanatana Goswami. So Rupa Goswami then made a small books, this. Okay, Age?
Who is the Srila Rupa Goswami? Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya. Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swam Padantikam. When will he give me shelter under his lotus feet?
So all of us, we whenever we speak, give Bhagavatam class, we chant this whole Mangala Charan. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam. Our acharyas have sung. Means our acharyas are taking shelter of Rupa Goswami. Ki I should have proper understanding of Rupa Goswami's teachings. And when I will be given shelter at his lotus feet, so that I will properly understand the whole sampradaya, the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So all of Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swap. When the Rupa Goswami will give his lotus feet dust to us. Because it's not only in a form of like a giving class, but ultimately our Sarupa, we are Rupa Nuga. So our Sarupa means following in the footsteps of Manjaris. So when the Rupa Goswami Manjari will accept us in her Sangha and give us some seva, like that. So okay, go ahead.
Who is Srila Rupa Goswami? In the Gaudadesh Deepika 180, Srila Rupa Goswami is described to be the gopi named Sri Rupa Manjari.
Gaur Ganodesh Deepika. So this is a book which describes all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and their Swarup Deha and Siddha Deha. The Siddha and Sadhaka, Sadhaka and Siddha Deha. The Sadhaka means who are there right now as a Sadhaka, who are they and what are their Siddha Deha in spiritual world. Then, okay, name. So who is Srila Rupa Goswami? Yes, go ahead.
In the Golok Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani is lovingly served by 8 principal gopis, of whom Lalita Sakhi is her dearest friend. These intimate maidservants of Srimati Radhika are assisted by 8 main Manjaris, with Sri Rupa Manjari being the leader.
So, like Ashta Goswamis are there. So we chant 6 and then Loknath Goswami and one more is there actually. So like this 8 Goswamis. So 8 are the main Manjaris, and then Rupa Goswami is one of is the leader of all of them. Even Sanatana Goswami is also one of them. But Rupa Goswami or Rupa Manjari is the leader of even Sanatana Goswami. They please the sweet divine couple by carrying masses, preparing tasty beverage, stringing fragrant flower garlands. Generally, these Manjaris are of age of 6 to 7 years. And the gopis, they are at the age of 12 years. So they are very like small girls, Kumaris. So they part in all pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Who is Srila Rupa Goswami? In their pure spiritual forms as maid servant Manjaris, the 6 Goswamis plus Loknath Goswami and Kaviraj Das Goswami, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, comprise the inner circle of Manjaris. So six goes, I said na eight. So Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami and Loknath Goswami, they all eight inner circle of the Manjaris, means most prominent one. These are the names given in this for them in spiritual world, like Jeev Goswami, the Vilas Manjari, Sanatan Goswami, Lavang Manjari, Raghunath Das Goswami, Rati Manjari. So these are the Manjaris names are given. Mahanidhi Swami Maharaj is given. Since Lord Chaitanya's time, all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas Acharya in their spiritual Manjari form serve Lalita, Vishakha and Radha Shyamashundar under the direction of Srila Rup Manjari, Rup Goswami. Here the listing of the spiritual forms of the prominent Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya. Amazing. You can see it's all the Acharyas. Okay. Nana Shastra Vicharane Kanipuno Sadharma Samsthapako Lokanam Hitakarno Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyo Karo Radha Krishna Padaravind Bhajana Anandena Mattaliko Vande रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्री जीव गोपाल को. यस अनुराधा माता जी आप पढ़ेंगे? यस यू कैन रीड.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna.
So Nana Shastra Vicharane Kanipuno Sadharma Samsthapako. So they have established the Dharma, Gaudiya Vaishnava Dharma, by going through so many literatures, scriptures. And Lokanam Hitakarano Tribhuvane. This is a karuna for all the people. Like we hear in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Ved Vyas, when he saw Kali Yuga approaching and when he saw what was going to happen, Bhautikanam cha bhavanam, Sakti Rasam, and then he says that Nihasatvan, Durmedhan, Ayusha, Hata Ayusha, ऐसे लोग की आयु कम हो जाएगी, दुर्मेधान मतलब बुद्धि भी एकदम गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. तो ऐसा when he saw all these things, then what he decided that I should write Vedas and I should divide Vedas and I should make a parampara of Vedas, hand over to my disciples. So that was Karuna done by Ved Vyas. And the same Karuna here we find. The Goswamis, if they want to do Karuna, then how they should do Karuna? By transmitting the knowledge. So transmitting the knowledge through writing literatures which are founded on the Vedic principles. The Nana Shastra Vicharane Kanipano Tribhavan. So Lokanam Hitakarano Tribhuvane. Because in this age of Kali, so much confusion is there. If just imagine, Prabhupada would not have written his books. It was so hard, so difficult for people of today's time to say that, okay, what to follow. Even if you read hundreds of acharyas books, you cannot be certain what to follow. You can be relishing acharya's commentary nicely, but you will not have mission to complete. Mission. So Prabhupada gave mission. He took out the Goswamis. He's a Rup Goswami. He has given so many books. Then Jeev Goswami made it more and more commentary he gave. And then later acharyas also. So the more acharyas are adding, and ultimately Srila Prabhupada, when he came, then he just made it clear, 16 round chanting minimum, and follow 4 relative principles, and 4 relative principles, and then the life of a brahmanical lifestyle should be there. Waking up early in the morning, taking bath, becoming ready for Mangal Aarti, offering bhogas to the Lord, singing Mangal Aarti, then hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, then eating only prasadam, then reading the literature written by Srila Prabhupada like Bhagavad Gita, Shrimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and many others. Dedicating life to parampara, surrendering one's life through some dedicated seva, and then always be engaged in thinking how to propagate the Krishna consciousness movement in India or outside through many ways, always remaining under the GBCs, following the governing body committee commission this. So, and then developing Harinam, taste for Harinam, taste for Vaishnava Seva, and then taste for again Jivdaya. So these many principles also very nicely connected with Srila Prabhupada. So this is a contribution of Acharya, that we got clear vision. Yes, we got clear vision, we got good Sangha, and so this is called Parampara. They are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. So why they are worth taking shelter of? Because they are absorbed in the mood of gopis. Srila Prabhupada was once asked, who is Guru? Srila Prabhupada says, who is addicted? Who is addicted with Krishna? Addicted with Krishna. Somebody is addicted, like somebody is addicted to wine, woman, or money, or you can say prestige. So then he's called materialist. One who is addicted to these things, he's called materialist. And one who is addicted to Krishna, and especially more specific here, one who is absorbed in the mood of gopis. So all acharyas can take shelter of Rupa Goswami because he is having the highest mood here. Ragatmika bhakti mukhya brajavasi jane tar anugata bhaktir raganuga name. The original inhabitants of Vrindavan are attached to Krishna spontaneously in devotional service. Nothing can compare to such spontaneous devotional service, which is called Ragatmika Bhakti. When a devotee follows in the footsteps of devotee of Vrindavan, his devotion service is called Raganuga Bhakti. So Ragatmika Bhakti means those who are Siddha, those who are perfected being, and they are serving Radha and Krishna, they are called Ragatmika Bhakta. And those who want to become perfect and they have done their Vaidhi Bhakti and now they are eligible for Raganugas and they follow Raganuga Bhakta, Ragatmika Bhakta, so they are called Raganuga. Okay, this will be understanding in NOD more clearly. Okay, ये हो गया, done. So these are the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Aradhya Bhagwan, Brajesh Tanyo, Tadham Vrindavanam, Ramya Kachidupashana, Brajabadu, Vargena Vakalpita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Pramanam Amalam, Prema Pumartho Mahan, Sri Chaitanyam Mahaprabhur Matamidam, Tatradara Napara. So this is Matam Idam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is his Mata? What is his doctrine or mission? What is that Mata? That Aradhya Bhagwan Brajesh Tanyo. So the only worshipable Lord is Brajesh Tanyo. He is a Vrindavana. The Lord Braja Isha. He is a Brajesha. Lord Krishna is a Braja Isha. So Tanaya. Tanaya means उनके अब जैसे ब्रजेश नंद महाराज सन और यशोदा मैया सन, तो उन भगवान को हमें वर्शिप करना है. तद धाम, उनका धाम क्या है? वृंदावन. ब्रजेश तनया, ब्रजेश के तन मतलब श्योरली नंद महाराज और यशोदा उनके बेटे, उनको वर्शिप करना है. और कैसे वर्शिप करना है वो भी दिया है. रम्या काचिद उपासना ब्रजबधु. ब्रजबधु की तरह भगवान में हमारी रति होनी चाहिए. ब्रजबधु की रति क्या है? भगवान कृष्ण में. तो ब्रजबधु, नाउ दिस ब्रजबधु इज लाइक conjugal love for Krishna. So Brajavadhu, how they worship, especially our sampradaya is a very special one. It does not go to any pushti marg or any friendship marg. It's only directly conjugal marg. So Right now, we do not know how to do that. That will be explained more in Raganuga platform. Right now, not. Right now is Dasya, only Dasya. Just to practice Dasya and clean out our anarthas first. Later it will come. Braj Badhu Vargena Vakalpit. So the most perfect worship done by Upasna, done by Braj Badhu. And that is Pramanam Amlam. This Praman is given where? Srimad Bhagavatam gives this Praman. That the highest worshipper of Krishna are Brajavadhu. And Prema Pumarthaman. This is our Artha. पुरुषार्थ प्रेम पुमार्थ हमें प्रेम चाहिए गोपीज का प्रेम चाहिए वी वांट गोपीज प्रेम and this is the matamidam of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So therefore the Rupa Goswami has given his literature in that way, how to attain that love. Okay, and then Sarvam Bhattacharya mentions Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Siksharthameka Purusha Puranaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sarira Dhari Kripam Budhiryastam Aham Prapadye. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam. So our bhakti is Vairagya Vidya. We follow Yukta Vairagya. So it's a Vairagya Vidya. What is a Vairagya? Vairagya from what is not favorable to Krishna, that is Vairagya. That is called Yukta Vairagya basically. And what is favorable for Krishna? Even fighting can be favorable for Krishna, will fight. Anything favorable for Krishna, even working in software company favorable for Krishna, will do that job. So Sikshartham Eka Purusha Purana. So this is the whole teaching which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving in this form of Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sarira Dhari. Chalo, अब आगे चलते हैं. So we'll go to now our reading. ठीक है, we understood that Sri Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the Goswamis, and to guide our activities he gave us Upadeshamrit to follow. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had given Sikshashtakam, and Rupa Goswami has given Upadeshamrit, so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. Yes. Now we have to read from here. हाँ, अनुराधा माता जी पढ़िए यहाँ से.
In all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. Everyone within this material world is engrossed in the modes of passion and ignorance. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattva Guna, by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami, and then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. The follower of the Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. Vaishnavas are generally known as Goswamis. In Vrindavana, this is the title by which the director of each temple is known. One who wants to become a perfect devotee of Krishna must become a Goswami. Go means the senses and Swami means the master. Unless one controls his senses and mind, one cannot become a Goswami. To achieve the highest success in life by becoming a Goswami and then a pure devotee of the Lord, one must follow the instructions known as Upadeshamrita, which have been given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami has given many other books such as Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Vidagada Madhav and Lalita Madhav, but Upadeshamrit constitutes the first instructions for neophyte devotees. One should follow these instructions very strictly. Then it will be easier to make one's life successful. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So here it is mentioned one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Unless one controls mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. So this first shloka, Vacho Vegam, we are going to read today. And it is about the sense control. So unless it is done, one cannot make advancement. And in our bhakti process, the whole process of sense control is what? To engage them in Krishna Seva as much possible. Or not, we say as much possible, we must engage. Jitna karna hi karna hai. Then it is understood that our mind and senses are in control. So we should not take out other meaning from here, because we are not from the yoga path, we are not from Jnani path, we are not from karma path, we are from bhakti path. So control of senses, Rupa Goswami path, what he is giving is through bhakti marga. Okay, but this sloka also applies to other yoga path. In any yoga path, if anyone wants to make advancement, then he has to first control his mind and senses. In fact, the Ashtanga Yoga begins with Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar. So if you see, the Yama, Niyama is what do's and don'ts. Yama means you should not do something. And Niyama means what you should do every day. And then Asana. Asana means, again, so much restrictions. Yeah. When devotees are told to do asana, one day they do, 2 days they do, and then after 3rd day, gaya, khatam. Muskil hota hai asana karna bhi. And they have to do asanas, different kinds of asanas for different bodily parts. Basically, to restrain their senses, make the body flexible, restrain their senses, they do asanas. And then asana, then pranayam, to pacify the mind, stabilize the mind. Pranayam, which prana is maintained, or it is, you can say, sama, equal. Prana is disturbed because of not doing asanas and pranayam. So then it is made sama, equilibrium, so that our mind can be peaceful. Otherwise, we find even many times in devotees, when they why we feel so much sleepy, because the vata, the air, is not balanced. So then this pranayam balance that air. And then pratyahar is quite advanced stage, where he has to. Srila Prabhupada writes in Srimad Bhagavad Gita that how devotees practice pratyahar, they also practice pratyahar. How? They practice pratyahar. No, not in Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. They practice pratyahar like that, that I will eat only Krishna Prasad. I will not eat anything outside. I will only hear Krishna Katha. I will only see the Lord's deities and devotees. So this is pratyahar for devotees. For yogis, they don't have any positive sense object. Therefore, they curtail everything negative, no material enjoyment, everything. That becomes so difficult. That is pratyahar. So we are seeing like that. Then dhyan, dharana, samadhi. So in that process also, the control of mind and senses are quite prominent, and it's a beginning of yoga. It's a beginning of yoga. Prabhupada therefore says it's the first duty to control mind and senses, and unless one does so, he cannot make any advancement. Okay, everyone within the material world is engrossed in mode of passion and ignorance. One must promote. So why? What are the benefits of controlling mind and senses? So this is very factual benefit, that one shifts oneself from passion and ignorance to sataguna. In fact, dharma can only be practiced properly in sataguna. In other gunas, you cannot practice Vaishnava dharma properly, or even Brahmanical dharma properly. There will be always some discrepancies. So modern times, people are in mostly, what are they? Passion and ignorance. So therefore, for them it becomes very difficult to follow Vaishnava principle also. Though it is quite simple, but it becomes difficult because the modes are not supporting. So here, okay. Okay, we did that. All the instructions of Goswami, okay, mind and senses. Okay, glory of Goswami, we did that. Yes. So significance of book. Okay, by teaching one to stop the serving mind and senses. So in this preface, Prabhupada mentions ahead also Goswami and Godas. So first we have to stop serving the mind and senses. So what are the servant? How one can become servant in today's time? Like servant of mobile. Whether we are servant of mobile or mobile is our servant. Servant of mobile means whenever it rings, it draws our attention and it forces us to give up the important work and just attend to it. That is servant of mobile. And how mobile is a servant? Okay, we have limited defined time and work for mobile to do, and then we use it for that purpose only. It's very difficult in today's time, but again, it should not be disturbing our Krishna consciousness. Then servant of tongue, or tongue is our servant. Whether tongue is our servant or we are servant of tongue, again very difficult. वो भी बहुत मुश्किल है. But one should take care. In ahead it is shown, Prabhupada says that one should only eat prasadam. At the same time, one should eat scheduled time prasadam. One should not therefore eat here and there. Then servant, tongue becomes our servant. Means tongue is under our control. Whenever we like to use, we can use. Mobile is under our control. And some examples are given, like moth. Moth is servant of eyes. Yes, moth, you have heard that when some lamps are there in the night, and moth, all these night creatures, they just run toward the light and they burn themselves in the fire and they die. Why they go so fast? Why they don't stop themselves? Because they are pulled by, dragged by their eyes. Their eyes are getting attracted towards that blazing fire, towards that glare, that they cannot stop. So they are basically servant of their eyes. So if a human being simply works hard in the day and night, works hard and enjoys life, and he has no time for Krishna consciousness or for bhakti, it means what? He is servant of his senses, because he is pulled and dragged by his senses. He cannot control them. And he finishes off his, for a human being, finishing life is later, but at least he finishes the opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness. The time he is fully engaging in materialism, not in Krishna consciousness. That is what example can be correlated with moth. The moth is finishing life because it's an insect. It cannot have other life. Means human have spiritual life and material life. The human has to balance. But if human is only living materialistic life, he is like a moth. His killing is spirituality fully. A fish is a servant of tongue. Fish become trapped when snails are put in the hook and put in the water. The fish eats the snail, and the hook also goes in the body of the fish, and then fish is drawn out from the water. Like Duryodhana and Ravana were the servant of greed and lust, correct? They could not control their lust and greed, and that became the cause of their death. Godas and Goswami. So Godas means one who's servant of senses, and Goswami means one who controls his senses. So basically Prabhupada mentions here, until unless one gets control over his mind and senses, to advance in spiritual life is not easy. It's not easy, it's quite difficult. Example, also monkey. Sometimes, okay, monkey, how is caught in jungle? Monkey, basically, one hunter, he puts some nuts in the bottle and he ties the bottle in the branch of a tree. The monkey is sitting on the tree on the top and seeing the hunter is doing something. And then hunter goes away and monkey comes down, he puts his hand inside, but the thing, that bottle, its neck is that much big that monkey can put the hand inside. And if the monkey holds his fist or holds the nuts and wants to take it out, it will not come out. And monkey is not ready to take his hand out without nuts. And he can do that, but he will not do that because he's greedy. And because of greed, monkey is caught. Hunter comes from behind and catches him. So this is a story of all animals, many or everyone, all animals. And for all of us, Maya also is killing our spiritual life by giving us allurement of man or woman or money or facilities, all these things. So she's killing our opportunity to practice spiritual life. We should also think that whether we are servant of senses or we are controlling our senses. The first duty of a spiritualist. Without this, no spiritual advancement is possible. So this book, and Prabhupada mentions that this book will help us to go to the Satguna. And once one comes to Satguna, the path will become very clear. Means after Satguna, we have to go to Shuddha Sattva, that is pure devotee platform, pure devotional or pure devotee platform, Shuddha Sattva. But before you become pure devotee, you have to become Goswami. First, you have to become Goswami, then we can become pure devotee. Pure devotee later. First, become Goswami. Goswami means come to the Satguna, control all the mind and senses. That is Goswami. And then we become pure devotee. So there is no other alternative way. This is the way we have to go through. And it happens when we are strict in our practicing bhakti principles, so that it happens. As we mentioned in the beginning, hearing holy name, chanting holy name, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, serving Vaishnava. If we keep doing it with proper attitude, which is going to come here, the attitude is so important. What is the advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on attitude of the follower. This is a so important thing. Like a grahastha devotee, he is at his home. Brahmachari, he is in Guru's ashram. Vanaprastha, he is in some pilgrim places. Sannyasi, he is roaming everywhere to give transcendental knowledge to others. Now the four category of people, they are having different work and they are differently positioned. Now advancement of every one of them depends upon attitude. It is not that everybody should be in temple only, then only will advance. Not that everybody should be in pilgrim places only, then. No. What is his attitude? Whether he is doing bhakti properly with the proper attitude along with his grihastha dharma or brahmacharya dharma or other dharmas. The attitude, like attitude towards eating. Okay, sometimes it becomes okay, we are eating. So if we hear too much strong lecture on eating, then our attitude. So we understand that we are fallen. We may not be able to practice, but whatever the Maharaj is saying, whatever sannyasi is saying, it is quite true. I am fallen. I know that. So this is good attitude. At the same time, we can slowly advance by taking up some little tapasya. And see, in bhakti, progress, as it is mentioned, we mentioned, discussed before, it happens in association of devotees. Means when we associate with more advanced devotee, the eagerness to practice higher principle develops in us. Bhakti process is catalyzed by association of pure devotees. It is catalyzed by association of pure devotees. The more we associate with more advanced devotee, there's a greater chances for us to adopt the higher principles in our life and become strict. It all depends upon association, actually. So when we take that association in humble attitude and we serve the sadhu, then we get that opportunity. So what is the attitude towards work? When we are working for Krishna or for kutumba bharane nava, simply for fulfilling the necessities of family. Recreation, like yuktahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta sapnava bodhasya, yoga bhavati dukkha. Now recreation. Recreation means what is attitude for recreation? What kind of recreation we want to have? Holy name recreation, holy dham recreation, or honeymoon recreation, or you can say movies recreation, whatever recreation other than too much prominent in the world. Then sleep for giving rest to body so that we can get ready for Krishna consciousness, or sleeping sometimes that oh, I enjoy 12 hours of sleep. I slept at 10 in night yesterday and I woke up at 10 in the morning. Then it is a long sleep again. So then attitude. So do we consider these things as enjoyable in our life? This is attitude. Then attitude toward Vaishnava, oh, what is this Vaishnava? They just simply say, and they keep on saying. Or attitude, okay, whatever they're saying from Guru Parampara, scriptures, I have to obey, I have to follow. Then attitude towards Guru, Holy Dham, and Holy Name. So the whole NOI, what we are learning now, we should develop attitude towards different aspects of bhakti. We may not be able to follow, but the right attitude should develop. That tomorrow I will follow, or tomorrow I will hear and take association of more advanced Vaishnavas, so that I become compatible to these processes properly. Srila Prabhupada mentions all these things in first canto, that how association of pure devotee is so important. And association of pure devotee may not be physical, it can also be through Vani. And some one-to meeting can be there, but in general, it is through Vani. Upadeshamrit constitutes the first instruction for the neophytes. Follow these instructions very strictly. Prabhupada says, follow this. And he says it's for neophytes. Means the neophyte have to control his senses. So at least I can say I'm neophyte. Surely we have to follow the instructions. The neophyte follow the instruction, and then it will become easier to make one spiritual advancement. Okay, we will start today. Now from here. Vacho vegam manasaha krodha vegam jihva vegam udaropasta vegam etan vegan yo vishaheta dhiraha sarvam api mam prithvim sasishyat. We will go to our book. Okay, Prerna Mataji, can you read? Translation.
A sober person who cannot tolerate the earth to speak, who can tolerate the earth to speak, the mind's demands, the action of anger and the urges of the tongue, belly and genitals, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Purport.
Just 1 minute. So 6 Vegas are given. Vacho Vegam. Vega means what? Urges. So some urges we should be stopping, some urges we should not be stopping. So it's a mention in Ayurveda also. What are not good for health? That urges should be responded immediately, and what is good for our spiritual being, or mental health, or as a whatever social being, we should reserve it. So like if somebody is feeling very much angry with his friend or with his superior or with his juniors, so then whether he should vent it out or not, then he has to see for what is the purpose of the anger. If purpose of anger is to do some constructive things, or make the other person understand the right thing, and that person should also be junior to him, so that he can learn, so then in that case it could be conducive. But if most of the times if anger is destructive, not constructive, so then that urge has to be stopped. Anger. Then jihva. Jihva means it is like a hungry tongue when it goes towards the feast. Okay, feast is not a wrong thing, but then eating more than one's amount to be eaten, more than that, then it becomes jihva begam. Or moving from one kitchen to another kitchen and finding out which is what the best item in this kitchen has been cooked, what is the best item in that kitchen, and then accumulating from one place to another place, or especially or other going to different restaurants. Oh, this is the best restaurant. Okay, from here, from there, Aisa, Dutana. So jihva begam. So these are the vegas which need to be controlled, and some vegas like. Especially in children, they are mainly taught that you should not stop your urine, your stool, when you're feeling that okay, a lot of pressure is coming. No, I will not. I will just play. I will not go for passing urine. No, that is wrong. Then you should go for passing urine. So these are taught to your children. And then stool also, one should not delay, one should immediately pass it out. And then if somebody is feeling thirsty for water, then one should drink water. So these are the vegas which are there in our bodies, the urges. So some Ayurveda says we have to respond immediately, and some we have to stop it, we have to curb it. And here the Goswami, Rupa Goswami mentions those vegas which we need to curb. Or we have to engage them in a proper way. How to engage our mind, our tongue, other things. So yes. So this is a Parishit Maharaj quotes this shloka 6.1.9 to 10. This is a shloka. दिष्टाश्रुतिभ्यां यत् पापं जानन् अपि आत्मनो हितं करोति भूय विवशः प्राश्चित्तम् अथो कथम् क्वचिन्निवर्तते अभद्रात् क्वचित् चरति तत्पुनः प्राश्चित्तम् अथो अपार्थं मन्ये कुञ्जरशौचवत्. These are the questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj to Sukdev Goswami. So just see what it is said here. Prabhupada mentions in up also. So this shloka, I will take you to that. This. So first class of 4 levels of intelligence. But first you should know what that verse says. Verse says means Kvachit charati tatpuna, means sometimes this is a kunjar sochvat, manne kunjar sochvat. This verse is quite spoken. Means an elephant, it goes to the pond, bathes himself, and then comes out again, puts the dust on himself. So what is the use of bathing? What is the use of such bathing? That after bathing again, voluntarily one puts the dust on oneself. It means the tendency to commit sin or tendency to become dirty has not gone away. Only some process has been learned how to become purified, but tendency to commit sin has not gone away. That is the whole meaning. Dishta sutabhyam, even by seeing, by hearing also, yat papam. We are seeing that this is a papa. There is some punishment associated with this papa. By hearing also, Sruta, by seeing also, and still karoti bhuya bivashaha, still he will bivash होके करेगा ही करेगा, वो पाप को छोड़ नहीं सकता. तो then he is asking प्रायश्चित्तम अथो कथम. प्रायश्चित का मतलब ही क्या है ना? Atonement has no meaning. Atonement means one does the sin, then one feels repented, and then he goes to the person who can hear him, or he goes to the Lord and he tells, or he follows some procedures of atonement, means some you can say counteractive methods by which the sins can be counteracted. Okay, sins are counteracted, but what about the sinful tendency? Whether they will be counteracted? No, they remain. So therefore the question arises, what is the use of such atonement process? They simply stop they simply stop the reaction, but they don't stop the tendency to commit sin. That is what mentioned here. It's like a kunjara shochvat. Kvachin nivartate abhadra. Sometimes he does abhadra, and kvachit charati tatpuna. Sometimes he does punya work. Prashchittam atho apartham. What is the use of such prashchittam? Manne kunjara shochvat. So Parikshit Maharaj, because he was a king, he has seen the people doing like that. They may commit sins. They may also tell that, oh Raja, from today onwards I will not do that. But again they indulge into bad activity once again. So therefore he's asking, what is the use of such atonement process? So Prabhupada ji gives the examples. We'll see here. So first class person, Prabhupada says, learns by hearing only. That I should not do this. Second class of person or second level of intelligent man learns by seeing others. Others get punishment by doing wrong, so therefore I would not do that. That is the second level of intelligence. Third level of intelligent people, they learn by experiencing oneself. Once they heard, they saw, and they will still do, and they get beaten also, they got punishment also, then they will understand, okay, I should not do then. And the fourth class experiences oneself but still does not learn. That is the lowest one. So he experiences also, gets suffering also, but he still does not learn. So in all of these four people, what would Prashchittam does? Prashchittam is only useful for, can you tell which of the category of people Prashchittam will be good? If he learns something.
Third cat.
Yeah, till third category it's okay. If you learn something, it is okay. The fourth one के लिए तो प्रायश्चित्तम का मतलब ही नहीं है. ठीक है. So Prabhupada gives example, thief is stealing even after punishment. Yes, thief is stealing. Keep on stealing, keep on stealing. And never learns. And then Christians confession in church. Prabhupada gives example this also. So Christian, they confess. We have heard many lectures of Srila Prabhupada saying like this. Christians, they come to church and say, Father, I have committed this sin. Now I brought some money for you. Please pray to the Christ, Jesus, that he forgives our sin, or he takes the onus of our sin. All reactions he should take. I am giving this money, Father. Please free me of all the sins. So here, what we understand, even religious people commit sin. Then what is the use of yagya dana tapa? Like animals go by instinct. Animals follow the instinct. They may kill somebody. Animals, we don't consider any sin for them because they are animal. That is their nature. But what about the humans? So even human become religious also. He may commit sin. It is possible, and it happens. It means religion is not the solution for humanity to stop solution or to stop committing sin. Because religious people also commit sin. Yeah, same thing mentioned. Now here, okay, these are something. So this I discussed. Okay, this is done. Why this topic need controlling senses? So this you can take reference. You may read later. 11.8.20 and 11.8.21. This from Srimad Bhagavatam, which mentions that if you artificially control your mind and senses, what happens? How the tongue is a leader of all the senses. And if tongue is controlled, all senses will be controlled. And if you fast on Ekadasi day or any festival days, all other senses, they become weak, but only tongue becomes very violent. And then it takes all revenge of fasting on next day of feasting. It takes the revenge and it fulfills all its quota. Whatever you have not eaten, multiplied by 2 times or 3 times, it fulfills all its quota. The tongue becomes therefore biggest enemy. Therefore, because this sense cannot be controlled by only fasting, it requires some special tactics to control, which are mentioned by acharyas in this purports. So go through this purports. We may also try to read later when tongue comes. Tongue situation. So पढ़ेंगे उस समय भी. तो ये चीज इसमें बताया गया है कि ये केवल भक्ति के द्वारा ही, और कैसे महाप्रसाद और other things will read in detail. And in Bhagavad Gita 15.7 to 11, Lord Sri Krishna, Mame Vamso Jivaloka, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, Manasasthani Indriyani, Prakriti Sthani Karshati. So there Krishna mentions that how we all are struggling with our mind and senses. And we are Ansa of Krishna, but we are struggling with mind and senses. So because they are pulling us to fulfill their desires, and we are getting pulled because we don't have Krishna consciousness. We don't have sense control. So we are getting pulled. And then Krishna mentions in further verses, this is 15.7. Further verses it mentions that how living entity, he carries the conception of previous body to next body. In last life, he was struggling too much hard with the mind and senses, karshati, and when he dies, when he leaves the body, the subtle body carries the soul, having the same conception, to another body. And in the new body, with all the five senses and mind in between, so these are like mind is in between, or like a mind is a palm, and five senses are like a fingers and a thumb. So the mind, what it does, it takes all inputs from all the senses and says, oh, this is so nice, please carry ahead, do it, and give me more enjoyment. So mind is like a raja, and all are the servant of the mind, all the senses. So they provide all the enjoyment to mind, and mind says, wow, wow, very nice, go ahead and bring more enjoyment to me. So these senses are all the time engaged in serving the mind. So this Krishna mentions. And Krishna says, actually, this is a problem. And who can see Jnana Chakshusha? Pashyanti Jnana Chakshusha. Only Jnana Chakshusha can see how living entity is struggling in this body under the three modes with the senses and mind. And he changes the body. He goes to another body carrying the same conception. And he gets trouble there also. And like that, he's suffering more and more and more. And who can see? Only Jnana Chakshusha. That how living entity is suffering. Vimudha. Vimudha can never पश्यन. विमूढ़ा नानु पश्यन्ति. विमूढ़ा नानु पश्यन्ति. विमूढ़ा मतलब जो इस संसार में घुसा हुआ है उसको समझ में नहीं आएगा. He does not understand Vimudha. He thinks that Vimudha is thinking, okay, my right now the desire is very new desire, I should immediately fulfill. But the Jnana Chakshusha sees, this such kind of desire you are already fulfilling from so many lives. It's not a new desire. It's the same old desire carrying the conception from previous life. You are just is coming in new shapes, new colors, and you are getting troubled. So therefore he says, yehi samsparsada bhoga dukkha yona yevate adavam konte nate shuramate buddha. So that is why Krishna mentions that a Jnana Chakshusha person tries to control mind and senses. Okay, we'll go ahead. Now, this is, we are going to learn ahead. Chalo, ye ho gaya. Srila Prabhupada also mentions about chanting holy name and committing sin. So this is the seventh offense. Namno balad yasyahi papa buddhi. This is the biggest offense, it is said.
During last 30 seconds, last 30-40 seconds, the video and audio was stopped.
What?
Last 30-40 seconds, your video and audio was stopped.
Okay. Was it the same experience with everyone?
No, Proji, it was working.
Nah.
Yeah, Proji, it is working for us.
Okay.
It was working, Guruji.
Okay. It may be like that. Okay. So see, Mahamantra, this also happens. Prabhupada ji, when he quotes about Christians, he also quotes about Krishna consciousness people. He says that similarly, many spiritual practitioners chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, at the same time commit many forbidden things, thinking that their chanting will counteract their offenses. Of the 10 offenses one can commit while chanting the holy name, this offense is called Namno Baladyasi Pap Buddhi, committing sinful activity on the strength of chanting holy name. Same thing Prabhupada says. It means we need to be educated. The chanting, though it is for clearing all our sins, no, it's not for that purpose. It's simply a byproduct of chanting that our sins get cleansed away. But chanting is meant for developing love for God. So, but if somebody thinks that, okay, love of God is so far, and I'm already engaged in so much sinful activity, let me take help of chanting. So he will not achieve love of God. He will be committing aparadh. And Ajamila, he got delivered from all his sins because he did not think and chanted like that. He was just chanting. He was ignoramus. He was not knowing only the value of chanting. Just Narayan, 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 please come eat with me. Narayan, please come sleep with me. Narayan, please bring a glass of water for me. Narayan, let us go to the doctor. Narayan, let us go to market. Like that, he was calling Narayan, Narayan. He was not at all thinking by chanting of Narayan, what will happen? My all sins will be finished. He was just in ignorance, in innocence. Even though he was committing sins, but in innocence, he was just chanting. And that chanting was Namabhas chanting, inoffensive chanting. So you see, Namabhas has two level, two category. One is if somebody is not Krishna conscious and just jokingly chanting or ignorantly chanting the holy name without knowing the full effect of holy name or full knowledge about the holy name. So he is also given benefit of inoffensive chanting. And then we all devotees, we've already come to know what is Krishna, what is soul, what is Vaishnava Aparadh, what is Nama Aparadh. And then we follow these things properly, then we can come to Namabhas inoffensive chanting. Okay. So that is possible. But for us, then jokingly, when we call somebody jokingly, so that for us also it's calculated. It's not that we are purposefully all the time saying like that. Like sometimes we say, oh, this Ram Prabhu is very transcendental. So what do we mean by transcendental? So Ram Prabhu at least we chanted, but transcendental means he does not follow any proper rules, regulations. So yeah, we don't have any bad motive, but in jokingly we say, and we purposefully also chant holy name. We do street kirtan, we do world holy name, and we also do Ekadasi holy name. So we purposefully do that, so we get the benefit of those. But one should not think, Prabhuji, if we simply remain ignorant of Bhakti path and just remain chanting like this, Namabhas. Ajamila did not get perfection. Ajamila got free from sins. But when he wanted to get perfection, he has to educate himself about Bhakti path. That is the only way. By becoming ignorant, one cannot go back to God, just taking the benefit of others. That is very rare, Kripa Siddhi. The real path is one has to consciously be aware of all the rules, regulations, and follow them. Then he can go through all obstacles and get perfected. Okay. So Christians we read. Okay. So Prabhupada says that as soon as at Saturday is over, Sunday comes, they again begin their sinful activity. Who? Christian. So Saturday they go, they beg forgiveness, Sunday they again commit sins. This kind of prashchitta or atonement is condemned by Parikshit Maharaj, the most intelligent king of his time. Yes. So a sinful activity cannot be counteracted by pious activities. The real prashchitta is the awakening of our dormant Krishna consciousness. Okay, let us now go to the slide. So this is a sin. The more detail you will be learning in NOD. So like this boy is having some wound on his knee. So why this wound came on his knee? Because of some sinful activity he had done in past. Now see, sinful activity, it cannot be told exactly that whether it was of previous life reaction or of this life. In general, it is always said it is of previous life reaction. But we also see that I have done something wrong and so wrong has happened. So we see our activity turning into reaction in this life. Yes. So these both things are involved actually. You cannot only say that only previous life. No, not of this life. If you don't study, you will fail. And now somebody say, oh, it was from previous life. It was destined that I will fail. No, again, it cannot be said like that. And if you study and you fail, then it is previous life. You study, still you fail, it means it is from previous life problem. Means we have done some previous life sin. So sinful actions produce two kind of reaction. Aprarabdha, prarabdha. Aprarabdha means unmanifest. It will come later. It is unmanifest right now. Gayab ho gaya hai. And prarabdha means manifest. It is manifesting right now. Like if somebody eats some wrong item, immediately what will manifest? Stomach ache. पेट में दर्द चालू हो जाएगा. स्टमक एक चालू हो जाएगा. So that will manifest. Now what aprarabdha can be, his tendency to eat that item has not gone away because he likes that item. Even though he gets his stomach ache, he just understand, okay, I will eat the pills and get ready again. But I want to eat. That item is so nice. So aprarabdha is a tendency. Or sometimes it is also reaction. It's a tendency to commit that sins again and again. So like example is given here, disease, like he has got hurt. It's not that the child is going to stop playing. And therefore the mothers and the father, they always chastise their children. Hey, I told you not to go there. I told you not to ride bicycle. You did not listen. And you fell down and you broke your hand or leg. I told you, I told you. But again. Why? Because their unmanifest desire keep on haunting them. And so they again go to the same path. Now example, sinful. Should I steal this money? So there are the path you see here. This you see, for then you'll understand that everything is beginning from avidya. Avidya of our original spiritual nature. With that avidya, somebody commits sins, and then sin, after when somebody commits sins or punyam, whatever, or prarabdha, unmanifest thing happen. And then unmanifest thing will go into kutam. Kutam means journal desire, journal. And bija means specific desire. Kuta means there is a sinful proclivity. And bija means sinful desire develops in us. It's a proclivity, kutam. It's a tendency, but now it has become into desire. That is called bijam. And then what happens? He does the. So now you just see, once the bijam develops, he commits sins. He commits sins, and then this comes. Actually, there is one more thing we are not able to understand here properly, but from once one does this pap, so not only a prarabdha happens, but prarabdha also happens. So from here you can draw one line to prarabdha. So from here it will come prarabdha. So here, so prarabdha means one suffers the physical reactions, mental reaction immediately. That is prarabdha. And aprarabdha, it will come later. It has come into tendency form, and it may come later as a reaction, as a tendency, or as a physical reaction or mental reaction. ठीक है, तो ये ध्यान देना इसमें कि जैसे चोर है, इसको लगता है should I steal this money? He's thinking, should I steal? No, I should not steal. And then one day decide, oh, I need money, I have to steal. So this is kutam. When he is in confusion, in general some desires are coming. But when he decides that I have to steal now, that becomes bijam. Means sinful seed has, or sinful reaction has now gone ahead. And then he steals the money. He steals the money. So aprarabdha means what? The police unmanifest reaction. The police को पता लग जाएगा कहीं तो चोरी हुई है, तो ये छिप के भाग जाएगा. ये भाग के चला जाएगा, पुलिस पकड़ नहीं पाएगी, लेकिन एक दिन पकड़ लेगी, तो उसको बोलते हैं प्रारब्ध हो गया, पकड़ा गया. ठीक है, तो कूटम बीजम अप्रारब्ध प्रारब्ध. So like that it is given. Done. So how to stop the sin cycle of sin? Tolerate the sinful desire. This we are going to read now. Do not try to satisfy the sinful urges. So you just see, one has to restrain one's urges. No choice. There is no other choice. Bhagavad Gita 5.22-24. Yehi samsparsja bhoga dukkha yona evate. An intelligent person does not take part in a source of misery which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. How long I have to control my senses? How long? What is the time period? Saknoti haiva yah shodum प्राक शरीर विमोक्षणात् काम क्रोधोद्भवम क्रोधोद्भवम बेगम सयुक्तः स सुखी नरा. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he will be well situated and happy in this world. Till the time you leave this body, you have to control these senses and mind. before giving up this present body. So सब किसके लिए चालू करना है? सबके लिए चालू करना है, जो भी बुद्धिमान व्यक्ति है। और कब तक रखना है? लास्ट मोमेंट तक रखना है। कि इसलिए इन द 5th कैंटो ऋषभ देव, he is a god, he was god himself, but he did not took resort of mystic powers, because he understood the mind and senses are very fickle. Anytime they can misdirect the yogi from the path of salvation, and they can engage in getting more siddhi, because such siddhi is working in getting free from misery. So I should get more siddhi, I should get more siddhi, and then they get into this game of gaining a lot of siddhis, or showing off siddhi to others because others are appreciating. So then he thought, okay, I should not use my siddhi, because it's a simply mind unchaste. My mind is always unchaste. It sometimes shows that I'm becoming chaste. So therefore, we have to always understand that mind cannot be believed. It always has to be kept under supervision. This is what is said. सकनोति यह है वह यह शोणुम प्राक शरीर विमोक्षणात्। जब तक अगला शरीर ना मिल जाए स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में, तब तक इस शरीर में अपने वेगों को कंट्रोल करके ही रखना पड़ेगा, और कोई तरीका नहीं है। डोंट ट्राई टू सेटिस्फाई द सिंफुल urges. Okay. So now we'll read from here. Yes, प्रभु जी, कौन पढ़ेंगे? Yes. हाँ, नग्न जित्ती माता जी पढ़िए। ये रियल अटोनमेंट यहाँ से।
Yes, sir. Real atonement involves coming to real knowledge, and for this, there is a standard process. When one follows a regulated hygienic process, he does not fall sick. A human being is meant to be trained according to certain principles to revive his original knowledge. Such a methodical life is described as tapasya. One can be gradually elevated to the standard of real knowledge or Krishna consciousness by practicing austerity and celibacy. By controlling the mind, by controlling the senses, by giving up one's possessions in charity, by being avowedly truthful, by keeping clean, and by practicing yoga asanas. However, if one is fortunate enough to get the association of a pure devotee, he can easily surpass all the practices for controlling the mind by the mystic yoga process, simply by following the regulative principles of Krishna consciousness, refraining from illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, and by engaging in the service of the Supreme Lord under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master. This easy process is being recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami.
Srila Rupa Goswami is mentioning this process. So one process which is a general process for everyone, as I said in beginning, this shloka applies to everyone who wants to progress in the path of yoga. So what is that methodological life of tapasya? So tapasa brahmacharyena samena damena sa. This is given in again 6th canto. Tapasa brahmacharyena samena damena cha. त्यागेन सत्य शौचाभाम यमेन नियमेन वा। सेम चीज है। पूरा जो योगिक मार्ग है, अष्टांग योग मार्ग और ज्ञान मार्ग। सी इन कर्म मार्ग, in the path of karma, there is fruitive activity. Okay, by doing some fruitive activity, you will get the fruitive results. And if you do something sinful, you again do some fruitive activity to counteract that. Like people give charity. Why? Because they will get a lot of money in next life. Done. But but these karmi people, they don't want to suffer any kind of misery. They want to just resolve all misery with their wealth and opulence. They want to do that, or do some yagya, all like this. So therefore, there are some processes made in the Vedas. You follow this process and you'll get freed from the sins. Like all the yagyas, the Panchasuna yagya done by all the householders in previous times, 5 sinful activity which are done unconsciously: killing of ants, while drinking water, many germs are killed, while burning the fire, many organisms are killed, while brooming the house, the floor, again many jumps are killed. So like that, the Panchasuna Yagya, so unconsciously many sins are happening. So then the all kings, according to the Varna, now kings they kill so many people in order to what you can say, means make the law and order in the society, to restrain people, to regulate them. So they kill animals also in the forest, to practice their shooting, and also to keep the number of the animals in constant, means otherwise they will grow in more number and they will trouble the rishis, saintly people in the forest. So therefore they have to kill also. So these things are their dharma, and it means they have to also do yagya to counteract their sins. They have to do yagya, because we know that 1/6 of the sins of praja goes to king. If praja is committing sin, king is responsible. 1/6 of karma, either piety or impiety, will be taken by the king. It means king has to do some yagya to free himself from all these things, or to make everyone do piety. One thing is very important to understand: the account of sin and account of piety both are different. If somebody does piety, his piety goes into different account, and he is eligible to enjoy, to go to a heavenly planet and enjoy for many years. An account of sin, if he has committed some sin, so even though he is having piety, the sin is not getting finished. The sin is there in the sin account. It's not like a debit and credit. Okay, if you do the sins, piety, then your sins will go away. No, it's not like that. That's why we are learning here. Even the religious people are sinful, or they are committing sin. It means the tendency is not going away. Not only tendency also, but even sinful reactions also, they don't go away so easily. It has to be properly done. Like if somebody dips in the Ganges, so his sins goes away, okay, but his tendency does not go away. This is one simple thing. But if somebody commits a very heavy offense, very heavy sinful reactive action, and then he goes and dips into Ganges, so it's not that immediately he will get freed from that sin, because sin is very dangerous sin he has done. So then atonement is also quite tough for him. So I am saying that thing. So atonement and piety has to be little separated. Atonement अलग होता है, piety अलग होता है. कभी कभी एटोनमेंट वाला प्रोसेस भी पाइटी हो सकता है, बट एटोनमेंट अलग होता है और पाइटी अलग होता है. तो एटोनमेंट अगर आप करते हैं प्रायश्चित अकॉर्डिंग टू वेदास, देन दैट फिनिशेस द सिन, बट टेंडेंसी कैन नॉट बी फिनिश्ड. ठीक है, बट सिंपली डूइंग पाइटी विल नॉट फिनिश योर सिन और सिंफुल टेंडेंसी. सो एटोनमेंट इज डिफरेंट प्रोसेस. जैसे अगर आदमी जॉब कर रहा है, पैसा कमा रहा है, लेकिन अगर कोई किसी को गड़बड़ कर दिया, एक्सीडेंट में किसी को उड़ा दिया, he has now caused somebody now got killed or murdered, something happened, accident हो गया उसका. Now you have to give money to that person's family, to the lawyer, so that you get saved. So this is one kind of atonement. It's not that you simply keep on earning money and put into temple and you'll become freed from these sins. No, you have to do that atonement process properly. That process, you may be doing piety separately, you do piety, but for that course of action, you have to do the atonement separately. This is what we are speaking here. So piety and atonement are different, but still both of them cannot finish the tendency. Okay, so Sukdev Goswami analyzes this path with Parikshit Maharaj, that how the karma path cannot finish away the tendency of a person. So the manne kunjara swachva, this is karma path, and jnana path, where lot of tapasa, brahmacharya, jamena, zamena, all these are karma and yoga, jnana path you can say. So in this path, even the person has a knowledge of the sins, has a knowledge of sinful reactions, but still he still commits sins. Like example, we can see like Vishwamitra Muni. Okay, he was a great sage, performed tapasya for 60,000 years. But again, when Menika came, again he fell. And like Sobri Muni, who were performing tapasya under the water again. So he did not judge properly. Garud Dev came, he was just taking one fish and going ahead. Lord Vishnu has no problem with Garud Dev eating one fish. Yeah. But this Muni had a problem. Why he's taking from Yamuna? And in under my scrutiny, so many fishes are there, and he's taking one of the fish. And then he cursed him that if you come anytime ahead, you will be dead and gone. And then what happened? He fell down from his yoga path. So why, even after controlling senses for so many years, why they again go back to the same materialistic habits? Because this jnana process can burn away the tree of sins, but they cannot finish the root of the sin. Tree of sin is finished, मतलब पाप का पेड़ हो गया है, तो पेड़ को ऊपर से काट सकते हैं लेकिन उसका जड़ को नहीं जला सकते. You cannot burn the root of the sin. Even jnana process also cannot do that. So jnana, yoga, and karma paths are analyzed in 6 cantos. They cannot do. So then, what is the solution given by Sukadeva Goswami? He says, Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayana akam dhurvanti karshneya niharam iva bhaskara. He says that Kechit kevalaya bhaktya, only pure devotional service can eradicate this sinful tendency fully and for no time to come. It will never come back. It will never come back. So what this Prabhupada is saying is same thing. If one is fortunate to get association of pure devotee, means one gets into the process of bhakti by guidance of a spiritual master, then this is that path which Rupa Goswami is saying is a path of full sense control. Full sense control and for permanent time. It will only happen when one follows this path. See, this path also, this person also, he has to ultimately come to the pure devotee. Even after doing yoga and jnana, he has to come to pure devotee he has to mix some bhakti in his process to get perfection. So he has to also come to the pure devotee. He has to get some devotion. And those who directly come to path of pure devotion, they are quite fortunate people. ठीक है, अभी आगे इसमें क्या है? एक मिनट. So this is avidya, kama, karma bhi. So the avidya means ignorance. Ignorance is the cause of all sins, all pap. Then ignorance turns into material desires. Then one commits sin and one suffers. This is the thing actually. So avidya has to be removed. Avidya. This avidya is not like the knowledge the jnani is there to. No. This avidya is our relationship with Krishna. Our relationship with the Vaishnavas. Our relationship with the holy name. Basically, we are a spiritual being. So knowing about our spiritual identity, working for that spiritual identity, that is not known now. So therefore, we are going into wrong path. But when it is known, we will go to the right path. And the yogis and jnanis, they artificially try to restrain their senses without removing the avidya. They restrain their senses, artificially they will do. They will like purge it more and more, दबा के रखते हैं उसको, दबा के रखते हैं. But at one time, when they find it's very difficult because the sense enjoyment looks very lucrative, very attractive, and then they fall into that. That happens. So which process can clean our karma bandhana? So we can see avidya, puta, bija, papa, and prarabdha phala. So only bhakti to Lord Krishna can uproot avidya. Only bhakti to Lord Krishna can counteract puta. Jnana, ashtanga yoga can burn material desire seeds. So till here they can do Gyan and yoga process, ashtanga yoga. Just see what is written here. Yagya, dana, tapa cleans up sinful reaction. Okay. So that is like sinful fruits. Suffering means somebody is quite suffering. So he can do some yagya, dana, tapa. So his sinful reactions will be finished. Jnana yoga with tapasya brahmacharya can stop sinful actions. Because one becomes regulated. It's not fully stop because the bija is there, na? It will come. कूट ये देखो, ये अविद्या से कूट आ रहा है, कूट से बीज आ रहा है, बीज से पाप कर्म हो रहा है, पाप कर्म से उसको सफरिंग हो रहा है. ठीक है, तो सफरिंग को हटाने के लिए बागेश्वर धाम जाएंगे तो काम हो जाएगा। आजकल कई लोग जा रहे हैं उधर, थोड़ा यज्ञ दान तब हो जाएगा तो हो जाएगा, ठीक है? लेकिन बागेश्वर धाम ये वाला प्रैक्टिस तो नहीं कराएंगे, हैं? कहाँ पे? ज्ञान योग विद तपस्या ब्रह्मचर्या, इट कैन स्टॉप सिंफुल एक्शंस. Sinful activity can be stopped by regulation like brahmacharya, then jnana marga, then yoga marga. So surely yama niyam, it stops, but in artificial way. Okay. Then bija, jnana ashtanga yoga can burn the material desired seeds. So it is also possible to burn the material desired seeds, but here they cannot come to kuta. Means the sinful tendency cannot be, desire can be finished, okay, but tendency cannot be given. Only bhakti can finish this tendency, and it can also uproot the ignorance. So therefore bhakti wins over all the processes. So like trees of sinful, just see, the tree of sinful reactions can be destroyed by karma jnana yoga, but root of avidya and bija, material desires, can be destroyed only by bhakti. So Srila Prabhupada gives here. So real atonement, standard process. A sinful activity cannot be counteracted by pious activity. Thus, the real prashchit atonement is awakening of dormant Krishna consciousness. The real atonement involves coming to real knowledge, and for this there is a two kind of processes which Prabhupada gives. One is we saw just now, tapasa brahmacharyena, and this is following bhakti path under guidance of spiritual master. So two paths, okay, by which you will come to the real knowledge. But this path again, we said that this can only finish the desires of sins, but it cannot finish the root of the sins or tendency of the sin. It cannot finish. But this path can finish everything. So, but both are active in this world. This path, both are active, both are doing their jobs. But in ultimate terms, this is going to be successful in controlling the senses fully. So what we learned till now? Atonement without sense control is useless. Somebody doing atonement but without sense control, useless. Sinful activity cannot be counteracted by pious activity. We learned. Pious activity means like Christian going and giving money to father. This is one thing. And the sinful tendency cannot be gone. But so okay, sinful activity he can, because he's doing atonement that way, okay, so he can get freed from that activity. But simply pious activity, which we discussed, like one is giving donation to temple, but he had done some murder somewhere, so then he has to give some money to the family and lawyer, or do some yagya to pacify that sinful reactions, apart from giving money to the temple or doing some piety. Considering the definition of real atonement. So what is the definition of real atonement? Is to develop the dormant Krishna consciousness. That is real atonement. Means one has to remove the ignorance only. So until one develops the dormant Krishna consciousness, means the dormant Krishna consciousness has to come out. Then only the ignorance will go away, and then a person can be saved from all this vicious path of sin. Definition of real prashchit atonement. Awakening of our dormant Krishna consciousness, focus of any of the process of atonement, it involves coming to real knowledge with tapasya. So now tapasya, Prabhupada will give ahead the definition, we'll read later. कोई क्वेश्चन है किसी को? Any question? Yes, Arun Pal, boli. What is the question?
The starting of class, like you told that if senses are not controlled, then faith also goes down. So regarding that, I had that here, like the statement you told, if senses are not controlled, then faith also goes down. It is like for scriptures, for the whole spiritual process, or the people you are dealing with. So what exactly here faith represents?
See, senses are not controlled. Okay, mute yourself. किसी का हरे कृष्णा Hare Krishna. Okay. So senses are not controlled. Here it is mentioned very clearly. For a neophyte to advance in path of bhakti, he has to control his senses. Otherwise, he will live in mode of passion and ignorance. He will not come to Satguna. He cannot see Bimudha Nanu Pashyanti. He cannot see the signs of Krishna consciousness as fact. It's happening in a true sense. He will not have faith actually. वो कर रहा है, उसके दिमाग में कुछ तो है कि देखा देखी कर रहा है. He is seeing others are doing and he is having some kind of faith and doing. But his faith will increase when his practice will become more and more streamlined with the shastras. नहीं तो फिर क्या होगा? If he later ना, once person start enjoying the senses, he start thinking, अरे it's इतना important नहीं. It's not so important to follow so many rules. It's a normal thing. Everybody is doing, we should also do. So his faith also starts getting lax and lax in the strict statement of scriptures. Earlier he was strict. See, there are two kind of. Sometimes what happens, we become very cozy. हमको लगता है कि ठीक है, अभी कुछ करने का जरूरत नहीं, बस माला पकड़ लो और जप लो और भगवान के सामने आ जाओ, भक्ति चल रहा है. This is one cozy life. Other thing is struggling life, struggling to advance in bhakti, always thinking that I am already fallen. This habit is not. This is a very bad habit I have. I want to control, and then taking some forward step to control. So this is a progressive life. So in cozy life, what happens? This person slowly becomes more and more down because Maya is so clever. Maya says that okay, it's not so important. You can also read newspaper. Yeah, it's a need of the today's time. You can also eat outside. What is the problem? Anyway, you're not following anything very strictly. You are chanting holy name, that will save you. So like that, Maya convinces. If we are not struggling to advance ahead, Maya convinces us to go back. Actually, she takes our hand and tell, okay, चलो चलो वापस चलते हैं. अभी क्या है, इतना दूर? अभी तो दिख रहा है क्या तुमको? आगे भगवान दिख रहे हैं? नहीं दिख रहा है. भक्ति दिख रहा है? प्रेम दिख रहा है? नहीं दिख रहा है. सेंस कंट्रोल तो होने वाला नहीं है तुमसे. अभी क्या इधर पड़े हो? चलो थोड़ा घूम के आते हैं बाहर. So like that, Maya takes us back. It happens. So therefore, we should regularly hear from our spiritual master, from Srila Prabhupada, to beat our mind. Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj used to say, beat your mind 100 times with a boot and shoes and broom. शूज से मारो और ब्रूम से मारो. क्यों बोलते थे? इसीलिए क्योंकि हमारा मन शैतान है. Our mind is a culprit. And it always says that we cannot follow. So always understand you are separate from your mind, or try to understand we are separate from our mind. All our habits are not our habit. It is habit of our subtle body and gross body. We are separate from subtle and gross body. We are simply trapped in that. हम लोग नहीं कर पा रहे, बट अपना पोजीशन पहले समझो, आप हो कौन. And try. Always pray to Lord, pray to spiritual master. So take shelter and understand your position and try to advance in this way. Okay, we'll end here. एक साथ हो गया. So tomorrow we'll have class same time 11 o'clock. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. ईशोपनिषद की जय. ईशोपनिषद उपदेशामृत की जय.